Hey everyone, this is Ben back with you in the model shop. Sorry it's been a really long time since I made a video. We're just at that stage in this build where there's a lot of repetitive, tedious work that has to happen over and over again, and you've all been there, I'm sure. It takes a long time to get anything done. I also had to work a lot. I finally got some breaks, so I was able to make some things happen. I also got this package in the mail the other day, so we'll go ahead and talk about that. First of all, I want to say happy Veterans Day to everyone out there, friends and families who served, present service members, people who have served. Thank you very much for your service and your contributions to this country and making it a great place. I served myself. I did 11 years in the Air Force Reserves down at Scott Air Force Base in Illinois. I think I got a picture of me from like 2003. This is like Biloxi, Mississippi, way too early in the morning. I'm not a morning person, which is not good if you're in the military. Anyway, so a couple things we want to go over here. So this video, originally I wanted it to be posted when I had all the Oerlikon cannons completed. That is taking a really long time. So what I'm going to show instead is kind of the building process to where I'm at now with them, which is basically they're all halfway done. Then we got the Northstar Model figures came in the mail. That's what this package is. So far pretty happy with them. One of the kits came damaged, and it wasn't from the shipping. I opened it up, there were loose figures in there snapped off around the edges, and it was clearly from the way that they had packaged it. They put in a little bag, wrapped some foam around it, shoved it in the box, and those figures on the edges were snapped off. The other figure set, they turned out fine. There's nothing wrong with them. Northstar, I don't even remember when I ordered them. It was sometime around having purchased the kit in the first place. So 4 or 5 months ago, whenever that was, I received an email from them about 2 weeks ago, I think, saying we've processed your order. Okay. And then right after that, I got a thing, certified mail. You had to sign for it that they had been delivered. So these are 3D printed. You'll see that when I show them. I don't know if Northstar is just taking a really long time to process their orders, if it's a small operation, you know, because it seems like once they're done and shipped, they came really fast. I'm not totally sure what's going on there. I'm being a little critical of Northstar because they have a good product, but they're very expensive, and you shouldn't have to wait this long to get something, especially now that it seems like the shipping actually is pretty quick. Maybe they're just not processing it right away. I don't know. So Northstar, if you're seeing this, I love your products, but you gotta fix your processing time. It's just too slow, and it causes me to be hesitant to purchase your product. In fact, the only reason I did this time was I knew this was going to be a very long build, and I had the time to wait. But if I was building something smaller, less complex, something I knew I'd have done in a couple of months at the most, I don't know that I would have went with your products for this. So anyway, that's all I have to say about this. Like I said, this is just kind of an ad hoc video. Happy Veterans Day to everybody. It's good to see everyone. I am still building, and hopefully we'll have more and better content out there for you here soon. Take care. Well, it occurred to me that I should probably explain a little bit about how I'm going about making all the Oerlikon cannons, because there's so many of them. So just quick little run through. First thing I did here, I made this little board, and as you can see at the top, I drilled holes, put a little sticky tack in, and then just secured all of the brass bases that came with the Pontos kit. This allowed me a way to easily throw on all of the little round rings and then the elevator cranks that go on there. And then I shot them. I actually went with the French light blue gray. I decided that the bases of these things should match the base color of the ship that we're using. And then what I'm going to do for the blast shields is I'll go ahead and switch over to the RAF medium sea gray, and then black for the guns. So this is my whole little station. So basically this sprue is of photo etches where everything needs to be cut out of. And what I did was I have here a little piece of glass that I set underneath, and then I have two different a round and a straight edge razor knife to use to cut those out with. I clean things up with a little sanding stick if I need to, and then I've got two different styles of tweezers. This one's pointed, and this one kind of has a rounder, flat edge. So basically, what I'm doing is going ahead, and I had to find a way psychologically that I could get through this and not lose my mind. So for example, for the shields, I just cut out 8 of them at a time, and then switch over to the bender, bend them, and when they're done, they get thrown into here. I did a whole bunch of them, and I got tired, and so that I didn't lose my mind, I switched over to the next part of the shield, which is these pieces right here. I'm sorry, these pieces right down here, and started cutting them out. And these are actually a little more tedious to cut out, but they're really easy. There's only 2 folds. So anything to speed up the process and kind of do everything a little at a time, and having a nice cleaning workspace is really important. The plan is, you know, things go in here, and then they'll come out. They're pretty big, and I'm gonna spray paint them all before putting it all together. So this will allow me to, I don't know, just go through in an organized way. But everyone's got a different way of handling massive numbers of guns of the same thing that need to be assembled, and I just set up this little assembly line process. It's what I'm going to use to make this happen. So anyway, I thought I'd share that, and I'll cut back to you when well, we got them done, or I decide to work on something else. Alright, so in an effort to talk about saving time, and I'll try and make this all fit, when you're doing a gazillion of any one part, it's really important that you try and figure out a way to get, well, basically any shortcut you possibly can. So I have this piece that I'm securing into my little jig, and it ends up getting 4 folds, but the initial fold is in half, and then a second time in half. And obviously what you would do is, for the first fold, we'll try and show this here, just go like this, and then you would remove it from the jig and fold the other one over. But I discovered on this particular piece that if I just, sure it's in the shot here so you can see this, if I just take this, see, we'll go like that, take my little bender and just roll it on over like that. See what we did right there? And slide out, boom. It works out just perfectly. And so that saves me the time of removing it, reseating it, and putting it in again so that I can make the second fold. And I have to do this like 50 some times, so that's actually a real time saver. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that. If I come up with any more ideas for this particular one, I'll share them. But anything you could do as you go along that will expedite this process for you, you should take advantage of, because otherwise this is a pretty big time suck. All right, so here we go. All right, so what we're doing is taking the shield. Let's move this over here so it's centered. Sorry. Taking the shield, and then this is the piece that goes in the back, and we're just dipping it in a little pile of super glue, getting it off of there, and then setting it in place. Of course, that flew all over when I did that, like so, and that's it. The piece is attached. You can see right there, that's what it looks like. And then all we gotta do is put it in a pile right over here with another little pile all right over here. Now, because I'm tired of doing the same thing over and over and over again, and that's all done, I say we paint this stuff. Okay, so we are about to finish up putting the shields up on the pedestals, but as you can see here, we have a lot of, we'll get a text. We have a lot of pieces right here in the middle, and some of you might wonder, like, well, how do you get to that middle one there? You know, without, you got to be careful, because if you need to rest your hand somewhere, you're gonna bang into things, and it actually was a problem I hadn't considered when I did this whole step. So I just came up with this. It's basically just a couple of boards that are a shelf that go above, clear everything, and I can rest my hands like this, no problem. So let's see if I can do this without making a mess. Bit of super glue. We'll grab one of our shields that are left here. I can just rest my fingers where I need to. Put it in place. I gotta pick it up here and check for plumb. Each of these has a little bit of a kilter to it, but yeah, there you go. No problem. So anyway, that's how I do that. These have, as you can see, they're just a little shelf right here, and it slides over and covers everything up. All right, pressing on. All right, so here we go. We're going to start out with the U.S. Navy figures. Set 1, that's the set number. They come in a box just like this. Obviously, I've opened it. And this is all you get. It comes exactly like this. A little piece of foam. Pull it out. And wrapped up right here are your figures. And I have not opened this up yet. Everything looks to be okay. Figures look sharp. Let's get them out. And there you have them. Let's zoom in a little bit here more. So this is, like I said, figure 1. They had it available. Got a handful of officers. So you can kind of make out there, like, they've got, I don't want to call it their service uniform on, but I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with naval dress uniform and uniform terms. I'm a Air Force guy myself. Anyway, they're the figures. They're packed in there pretty tightly. These little extensions coming up off the arms, this is evidence of the 3D printing. When you print something with a 3D printer, it starts on the bottom and works its way up. But when you have something suspended out over nothing, there's got to be something for it to attach to. So they make these little supports that come up off the ground to, you know, handle the flash or the binoculars that are sticking out there. So you have to trim all that stuff off. Let's see, we got one guy who's a little bit damaged here, pushed in, and the gentlemen on the end are pushed in a little bit. But that's it. They should look really nice when they're done. I'm going to try and utilize all of them. Painting them is kind of a little bit of a pain in the rear, but we'll see how it goes. I'm assuming I could start by snipping off the bottom here. I'll have to see how many are underneath, and if that will let me get access to kind of this area in here, use a hot knife or something to cut these out. It would be nice to, like, have the bottom so I can, you know, mount these on a stick or something and paint them so I can get them ready to go. We'll figure that out. These are the backs of the sailors all posing like they're having their picture taken. They're looking in on something back there. This basically is the same as naval set, the exact same figures as they do in 1/350th scale. This is just in 1/200. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, here's the one I was excited about, the Bofors quad mount with the M51 Director crew. So this one came, and unfortunately there was a little bit of damage. And it wasn't from the shipping, it was just the way that they were packaged up. Basically shoved right in there, and they had the foil wrapped around pretty tight. And I haven't opened this yet. Actually, you can see the tape still on it. let's just zoom in here, you'll see what I'm talking about. So we've got a bunch of busted off figures there. They mostly broke right at the feet. You can see them rolling around inside there. I'm pretty sure they're salvageable. But you can see right here, there's one of the gun directors, so you actually have a figure looking through the director itself, that's a cool feature. So we'll try and put those in place, and then you have people with their arms up in the air holding munitions, getting ready to load the things up. Let's go ahead. I'll open this up and we can get a better look at things. Alright, here is the open package, and you can see there is a lot going on here. The gun directors look cool. Nice rivet details. Everyone has helmets on, which is nice. I think I see a couple of sailors in there here and there. Yeah, that gentleman right there. So he's probably like a petty officer or something. Right here, observing the guy with the gun director. They're the dudes who would be sitting in the seats. You see wrinkles in the jackets that they're wearing. That's a really nice detail. This is a step up from the other kit, that is for sure. These are pretty cool. So, well, unfortunately, it is very unfortunate that these pieces busted loose. I have them. I'm sure I can salvage them. At this scale, as big as they are, it's easy to make them look natural and like they fit in. I don't think you get enough per set to man every single one of the guns, but that's okay. We're going to just have a lot of various activity throughout the ship, and these took forever to come. Like I said, I don't know if Northstar takes your order and then when they get to it they make them, because I did receive an email from them saying these shipped and they're on their way, and when I received that email saying they'd shipped and they're on their way, they showed up probably about a week later. Pretty quick turnaround, but for them to actually take my order and process it and do this, I mean, that whole thing, I'm going to say we're looking at probably 4 or 5 months at this point. Honestly, I don't remember when I placed the order. I'd have to go back. It was around the time I got the ship. So anyway, those are pretty cool. I think they're going to make a really nice addition, and it's nice to have the gun directors manned. Let's see if we can get right here so we can at least do some manned, and we'll use their version of the director for that. I do have obviously the other gun directors that came with the Veterans Models kit, and those look sharp. So we'll have 3 versions of the director to kind of peek at, which is cool. So anyway, alright, that's it. I'm sorry this is such a short video, but we're into the part of the build that takes a really long time. So when I have more, we'll get back to you. Thank you very much for watching.